Not that late, am I? What do we do in terms of saying hello? Let's just go in. Oh, too soon for that. Nope. Hello there. So, book, check. And blind date, check. What are you waiting for?
I am waiting for you.
Good.
Hi, welcome again to FCKL. This week we'll be reviewing a romantic comedy again, but this time it's an English one as opposed to a Malay one that we reviewed a few weeks back.
Yeah. It's called Man Up. It's a British-French production, but it's basically a British comedy. Stars Simon Pegg, who is British, Lake Bell, who is American, Olivia Williams, and the other one is Ken Stott. It's directed by this guy called Ben Palmer. Ben Palmer directed this comedy series called The In-Betweeners.
Yes.
The In-Betweeners is an absolutely hilarious comedy series about a bunch of young guys in high school type thing.
And gap years.
In gap year. Anyway, the story takes place over one night, and it's just a story about sort of mistaken identity. It's a very simple conceit. We have seen it before. Simon Pegg was supposed to have a blind date with this girl.
Yep.
Somehow or another, he ends up having this blind date with Lake
Someone
Bell.
else.
Someone else.
Happens
which
to be
is
Lake Bell.
Lake Bell.
Lake Bell's 34-year-old single girl who hasn't been in a relationship for a few years.
Yeah.
At that point, Simon Pegg plays a guy who's like a 40-year-old divorcee or
Yeah.
about to be divorced.
Yeah. So hilarity ensues. It's formulaic. Boy meets girl.
Yeah.
Something happens in between,
Yes.
and then it ends up as everything goes
Yeah.
well. But it was highly enjoyable.
Yes.
The writing was brilliant.
Initially, like I think the first third of the movie, I thought that maybe the writer was trying to be a bit too smart. So at one point I said, okay, this is getting a bit draggy initially. And then I think as it moved along, and then especially as it went into the final act, right, then it started to pick up a lot. It was starting to look more like a Simon Pegg movie.
Yeah. It was very Richard Curtis-y as well.
Yes. So it does have all the usual, what you would expect from an English production.
Yes.
So you have running gags, and then you have the slightly inebriated guy who sort of comes up with all sorts of gags. So, and that was, I must admit, very, very enjoyable.
It's a brilliant date movie.
Yes.
Right? I went in not knowing anything about it, except that I knew that Simon Pegg and Lake Bell. And it was very enjoyable. And I think for this year, in terms of a rom-com type movie, a light rom-com movie.
Yeah, in this particular case, it follows that trope. So boy meets girl, not quite maybe the right girl, but that's the thing, right? Stuff happens, boy loses girl,
Yep.
right? And pretty soon after decides that, maybe the wrong girl is actually the right girl. I'm not giving anything away here, to be honest.
It follows the same
Yes.
formula.
It's not an art house French movie.
Yeah.
Where the girl suddenly becomes a leper and loses a big toe or some shit like that. No, it's none of that. It's a straightforward romantic comedy. If I were to rate it, I would say a 3.5. But mainly because we've been starved of good romantic comedies lately.
I think I enjoyed it a lot more. I actually thought that it moved along in quite a nice pace, and it's not overly long.
No, it's not.
Which is brilliant.
I haven't got a clue how long it was.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you mentioned it before, I said, hey, you got to watch this. Right? And then I remember, because I think I saw an interview, or I read an interview, Simon Pegg and the writer, it's a lady, right?
Yeah.
Who actually said that this is what they set out to do, a nice, good, happy romantic comedy. And I think they achieved it.
Yep. So go watch it.
Yeah.
So what are we doing next week?
We'll probably be doing Bond.
Yeah. So that's not a romantic comedy.
Well, it might, because it has Monica Bellucci. I mean, 1999 vintage Bellucci, like in The Matrix.
Yeah, perhaps not 2015. But well.
Yeah, there was some women, right? Anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
Till next week. Bye.